Hello friends, it's Daniel Mateola once again, and I want to talk to you about eyesight, insight, and foresight. What is this all about, and why have I decided that I'm going to be doing a lot of broadcasts just called eyesight, insight, and foresight? One of my favorite verses in the Bible is in Matthew chapter 13, verse 13, where while Jesus was explaining to his disciples about why he spoke in parables, he made this statement. Listen to it. He said, "Therefore I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand." Now the 14th verse goes on to say this. "And in them the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled, which says, Hearing you will hear and shall not understand, and seeing you will see and not perceive." Now, I'm not sure whether you got that right away, but if you didn't, this is what Jesus is trying to say. That it's one thing to hear, but it's another thing to understand. It's one thing to see, but it's another thing to actually get the right perception of what you are seeing. See, lately in our world, there's a huge amount of deception. There are those who, their livelihood, what they're paid to do on media is make you see things from a particular perspective, whether true or false. In other words, beyond you having your eyes open and your faculty and ability to be able to see visually, it's important that you understand what you see. So whether it's global events, whether it's what's going on in your nation, whether it's what's going on in the society or in your community, as a child of God, it's important for you to be able to see correctly. In other words, have insight. So when I talk about eyesight, I talk about your ability to be able to see. When I talk about insight, I'm talking about an understanding, perception, being able to get a right interpretation of what's going on. You know, you only need to just listen to the news lately, and you can just see how one news channel differs from another in terms of what they are reporting. Same incident, but when you listen, for example, to CNN, you would hear their version of the news from a liberal perspective. If you watch Fox News, you'll probably hear the same news, but now from a conservative perspective. So in a world where everybody is trying to make you see things in a particular way or think in a particular way, it's now more important that you are able to get proper insight from God about what has happened. So I said to you, eyesight, insight, well, guess what the third one is? Foresight. You see, when you have proper insight on what is taking place, it then helps you to be able to have an understanding of where things are going. There are many people in our world, for example, that just would hear the news, get scared, get worried, and then begin to panic about what is to come because they don't have a proper understanding of what they say. I want you to be able to go for the three. As a child of God, eyes to see, a mind and the spirit to have insight, good interpretation of what you see, and then going one step further, seeking the face of the Lord for foresight. Lord, what is to come? You know, this message became really strong in my heart in the year 2020 when we had the COVID outbreak, and everybody was talking about a global pandemic, and there was so much pandemonium in the world. You know, in all of my 50-something years of being alive, I'd never known a time when people were so confused. There was such confusion around the world, everyone going helter-skelter. It's the right definition of what you say, or when you say people are in darkness. But do you know that that was the time when the Lord began to really teach me about the importance of getting insight? So no matter what the news broadcast was saying, I was seeking the face of the Lord to say, what is really happening? And Lord, tell me what is happening from your own perspective. And ultimately, God was able to give me foresight. And so as a leader of a church family, I was able to lead our church and help the church navigate through a very difficult time, making decisions that were unpopular. There were times when people thought, hey, Pastor Daniel is just being a bit reckless. Why is he doing that? But they didn't understand that I was doing it because I had foresight. Now, a year or a couple of years later, let me say maybe a year and a half later, a lot of people are now seeing some of the things we saw a year and a half ago. So I want to encourage you. Please, please, please make sure that number one, you keep your eyes open. You see what's going on around you. Don't be that type of a believer in Christ who says, I don't even watch the news because it's all bad news. No, watch the news. Listen to know what's going on, but always make sure you seek God for proper understanding of what's going on, which is called insight, and then ultimately foresight. So when everybody's panicking, you can chill and relax. Eyesight, insight, and foresight, which is being just an incredible benefit to you in this last days. Once again, this is Daniel Mateola, and I hope this nugget has been a big blessing to you.